Welcome to Trust Your Inner Sense with Joanne Starkman podcast. I'm Joanne Starkman, and I look forward to going on this collaborative journey with you to ignite inspiration, inspire self-discovery, and instill new meaning in life. I'm excited to host a wonderful array of guests, including innovators, creatives, expert coaches, teachers, and much, much more who come together to share their stories. Each episode reveals how they've embraced their inner sense to pursue their passions and shine their unique lights in the world. We'll have thought-provoking discussions and chat about tools that will provide fresh perspectives to help you create a joyful and meaningful life. As founder and chief visionary officer of award-winning hair care brand Inner Sense Organic Beauty, I am also an avid meditator, platform artist, author, and mother of a special needs young adult. Over 20 years ago, I intentionally brought mindfulness to morning routines by authoring each affirmation on Inner Sense Organic Beauty's products, which we call Innerflections. You can check them out on the back of the bottle. It's my goal to have this podcast to be your warm and compassionate companion, whether you're on a journey for deeper meaning, seeking greater joy, or in need of love and healing. Let's continue our journey of self-discovery, self-care, and self-love. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive into this week's Trust Your Inner Sense episode now. Hi, friends. I just could not be more excited for this episode. I want to give a little bit of, do I need to introduce you first, or do I need to give a little bit of wanted to connect how I know this special, special person in my life. Maybe I'll introduce you first. I don't know. I didn't plan this, but anyway, today we're joined by Dani Burling, whose healing journey began over 30 years ago. Dani's a Reiki master, theta healer, hypnotherapist, drumming facilitator, sound healer, and master shaman. Her life's work is devoted to teaching universal techniques that bring the body, emotions, and energy field and life back into balance while opening the door for dreams to flow naturally. For more than 2 decades, Dani has shared the sacred wisdom of the shamans of Peru, guiding others on paths of healing and transformation. She's led students through sacred ceremonies and journeys to Peru, hiking its mountains and visiting its powerful sites to experience the extraordinary medicine of the land and its people. Her teachings and sessions, whether in sacred settings or at a world-renowned resort, invite people to explore their energy, understand their past relationships, and awaken the lessons that their souls came here to learn. Many arrive skeptical, but leave inspired, amazed, and deeply changed. This work is Dani's greatest passion. Through practices that move beyond the mind into other dimensions, she helps people access insights that shift energy, perspective, and ultimately entire lives. Her mission is to guide others towards remembering their true purpose and consciously shaping their life they truly want to live. So welcome, Dani. I'm so excited to have you. And I think welcome, Dani.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is so good to see you again.
I know, it's so good to see you again. I just wanted to add in really quickly for my listeners. I met Dani in 2011. I think it was maybe 2010, 2011. And I laugh because we met at a BNI group, which is business, BNI, business something international, right? I don't even remember what that stands for, but it was a very businessy thing. And we sat right next to one another. And I was a hairdresser at the time because Inner Sense was like chugging along and I was still standing behind the chair, still like working my salon business. And, I sat next to Dani and I'm like, I have no clue who this woman is or what she does, but whatever it is, I want it. So that's when I had the miracle and joy of stepping on the medicine wheel. And I wanted you to explain like what the medicine wheel is, because I feel like way back when it was very like understated and people didn't know. And now I turn around, I go everywhere and people either are carrying around mesas or are talking about the medicine wheel. Like it's so much more prevalent these days from when I started on my journey. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now and let you talk. I just get so excited because you're definitely such a near and dear friend, obviously, and such a big part of my journey, working as an energy healer and working in that whole realm. So, anyway, yeah, talk to me, girl. Tell
I know,
me,
right?
tell
Right, right.
everybody what it is.
I think everybody should be on the medicine wheel personally, but it
Yes.
is a journey of the wisdom of the shaman. It's a journey of inner healing. It's a journey of not having to suffer anymore and understanding why you're here, why everything has happened to you, what your purpose is. It's about understanding that your energy and that you create your reality in every moment. You create your relationships, you create your direction in life and your finances, you create the health of your body. And how do you understand when somebody is showing you the mirror of what your energy field is? And how do you stop suffering? And how do you create your dreams? It has to do with how do you heal this lifetime? How do you heal past lifetimes? And the shaman was the first everything, the first astrologer, the first hypnotherapist, the first energy worker, everything. And so it's about bringing their ancient, sacred, extraordinary wisdom into this time of life so that you don't have to walk unconsciously anymore through life, but you understand exactly how to create what you want, exactly when an accident or a disease or the love of your life comes in, you know exactly how you created that. And so that's what I teach. And some people want to hang a sign and say, I need my rattle and I need to be laying everybody down and clearing their energy field. And some people say, no, it's just for my own personal growth. And so, either way, I am honored that I feel like this is my passion and what I try to ripple out into the world, especially in this time that we're in right now.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I definitely was, just your teachings have been a big blessing in my life for sure. And I think I definitely can attribute a lot of my bigger moments in my life to the co creation and the things that I was taught in your class and on the medicine wheel. So I definitely personally thank you for that. And I too believe everybody at some point and maybe always should be on the medicine wheel and understanding these practices. So,
Yeah.
what drew you first to the shamanic practices over 30 years? Was there a defining moment in your path?
I definitely had a defining moment. I think that moment happened 30 years ago when my mom came down with breast cancer for the second time.
Hmm.
So during that time, I became a registered nutritionist, a Chinese herbalist, and an iridologist who reads the eyes to help her while Western medicine radiated her brain.
Mm.
And she held the belief if I get better, nobody's going to take care of me. And
Mm.
so realizing if somebody holds that belief, they can't get better. And the day she passed, I took my grandmother into the other room. I sat her down. And when I stood up, I was pushed around in a circle by a beam of light that was standing in front of me with these words that said, "Thank you for taking care of me, Danny. I'm no longer in pain and I'm going home." As a nutritionist, how did she push me? What was that light? How could I hear her? How come she didn't have a face? And where is home? So that's when I became all those other modalities looking for that answer. And it wasn't until I met a shaman that I discovered, oh, they're the ones that connect you to that energy, that wisdom of your soul. And so that's what I do now in sessions. And in the medicine wheel is help people understand that part of you because that part of you knows why you're here, why everything has happened to you, what your purpose is. That part of you has the wisdom that helps you understand everything that's going on inside and outside of you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, you've worked with people from all walks of life. Is there a common thread or challenge do you see with those people that are specifically drawn to your work?
Oh yeah, so many people. So a lot of people come to me saying they feel stuck or blocked, and so
Mm.
stuck or blocked in my world is your energy is stuck and blocked because your thoughts and emotions poison your energy field. If you're empathic and you take on other people's thoughts and emotions, then that's blocking your energy field, and all that negative energy is then creating your reality. So then they feel stuck because they're creating what they don't even know that they're holding inside of them. And so those challenges come up for them. And so it's important to go into the emotions, and everybody has emotions. That's why we came here, because yay, I get to experience anger and depression and anxiety and stress because I'm going to evolve as a soul that I am. And so helping people understand what emotions they're really defaulting to and are poisoning their energy field that's coming from their mind helps them understand what they need to clear and what they need to heal and what new energy that I can guide them to bring in new energy so that then their reality rearranges itself around this new energy. So your emotions are so important, and we all have them throughout
Mhm.
every aspect of our life,
Mm, so true. So, so true.
right?
Um, well, over your journey, what's been the most surprising lesson you've learned about yourself or the surprising lesson you've learned about, I don't know, the whole path that you're on?
It's crazy because a lot of people come to me, their issues always came from when they were a child. And,
Mm,
we have issues with our parents, one or both, or, maybe it's a sibling or, but and we always say, that saying, I'm never going to be like my parents. Well,
we
as I
are.
started to do this work, right? Pushing, my parents away and then not liking the way they're acting, going through this process, recognizing I am my parents.
I know.
And dang it, I'm not happy about that. And so it gave me something to work on. It gave me something that I needed to heal. And it's so funny because of how me and my dad's relationship was that wasn't good. As I started to do this work, realizing he was my biggest teacher. He was the one that was showing me the biggest pieces that I needed to heal inside of myself. And so we didn't talk for a while when I was a teenager into my 20s. And as I started to do this work, all of a sudden our relationship changed. And all of a sudden we started to become close to each other. And now we're like best friends. But never did I have a conversation with him. I healed inside of me that then changed his reaction to me. And it's funny because I was with my sister and my dad, and he kissed me on the lips. So we always do this little peck on the lips before we hug each other. And my sister looked at me and said, "Wait a minute, he doesn't kiss me on the lips." And it was like all I could think about. I go, that is all the work that I've been doing all these years
Aw.
inside of me that showed such a beautiful reflection back to me.
That's so sweet. Oh, it's so inspiring talking about these things. It kind of makes me think about will you talk about the triangle really quick and like living off the triangle? Just I think that is I know that was one of the concepts for me that was like kind of mind blowing at right at the beginning, and I think people don't even recognize it. So I
Yeah.
think that could be like a really I mean, maybe it's not a good place to start for people, but I'm just trying to give people that are listening some, tangible lessons that maybe they could start to reflect on or put into practice.
That's the first thing in a session. We talk about emotions, but then I go right to the triangle. So there is in relationships, there's a triangle, and on the triangle, there's three archetypes, and we play all three of them, but we default to one. And the first, so you could think about out there, where are you on the triangle? The first one is the rescuer who takes care of everybody else, who is there for them night and day, who's the one that's volunteering, who's the one that doesn't take care of themselves, who's the one that wears a cape on their back, and I could do it. So that's a rescuer. So think about it. That's like some people call them when they come in for sessions. I'm the caretaker. Same thing. The second one on the triangle is the victim, which is my mom, which was my mom. Victims want to be taken care of, or they're the poor me, or why this happened to me, or, so that energy. And then the last one on the triangle, the archetype of the bully or the perpetrator, the one who's angry, the one who doesn't feel they're getting anything that they want in return. All three of these archetypes, the only reason that they act like that is because they're trying to get love. And so the rescuer says, if I take care of you consciously or subconsciously, I'm expecting you to love me. And then when they don't, then rescuer will turn into victim or bully because of that. Victim says, if you love me, if you take care of me, I feel like you're loving me. And bully says, I don't feel like you're ever loving me or taking care of me. And so all of those three archetypes, we default to one, and it comes from a place in our past that needs to heal. So if you're a child and there was abuse or fighting or one of the parents left you, you could turn into a rescuer with an unconscious belief, if I take care of you and if I rescue you, will you not leave me? Will you not abandon me? Will you not fight with me? And so the mind goes to this place of this very dysfunctional, codependent kind of triangle. And you act differently with different people on that triangle. And sometimes people divorce that person because they don't like the mirror that they attracted. Because if you're a rescuer, you attract the bully or the victim.
Right.
It's a
And then,
crazy, amazing, like all relationships are like that,
yeah, I mean,
pretty
it's
much.
pretty profound when you start looking at that, right? And start understanding it. And then kind of, so then I guess my next question would be what happens when you live off the triangle? Or that's kind of like the shaman's way or the shaman's practice, right? Is living off of the triangle.
Yeah, it's like my intention is to empower the other person. And the only way that you can do that is if you help them find their own answers. Like I can't rescue for love because that means I'm unworthy. I'm not here to rescue anybody else. I'm here to evolve as the soul that I am and to learn my lessons and to heal myself. And as I do that, then I attract those that support that love and care because I love and care and respect myself. And so if somebody's a victim, if I buy into that, I'm sending them down that same path that my mom went to. Or if I continue to go after the bully, it's okay if you hit me. I still love you and I know you love me. Those kinds of relationships don't work. And so, as shaman, it's about being able to see through that mask of that archetype in who they really are. And how do I not push their button? How do I not make them feel unloved and just basically give love because that's really all they want?
Beautiful.
Did that
Yeah.
get answered?
No, totally. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes it's a little easier said than done. I'm just sitting here reflecting how I feel like I'm getting a personal healing right now in this moment because just even having these conversations for me just energetically get me excited to deepen my path. So thank you for that. Let's talk about the Peruvian shamans a little bit. They're just so sweet and so lovely and beautiful. And maybe can you talk a little bit about your trips to Peru or some of the sacred ceremonies that they do or the ceremonies that you do? I mean, you hold space so amazing for so many people. I don't know. It's not really a question, but I think, you hear what I'm saying, right?
I hear you. They are extraordinary, extraordinary. They live in this place of bliss and joy all the time. When they speak this language of Quechua, so the bridge is Spanish for the English because their language isn't even in writing. And when it's translated, they're always talking like I to my brothers and sisters. That's what they call everybody else. When they're doing a blessing bundle, I'm giving an offering of love. When we would hike sacred mountains and I'd have altitude sickness and we'd stay in tents at 0 degrees, I could hear the shamans in the other tents just laughing and having just the best time. When I hosted the leader of the shamans of Peru in my town, I could look out my window and see Mount Diablo by
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
back in the day when I lived up in the Bay Area. And they're just so magical because over the mountain were clouds. And for the medicine wheel, serpent, jaguar, hummingbird, eagle are the different directions of the medicine wheel. There would be a snake and a eagle in the air made of clouds. And it's like,
Mm.
how like magic are you? They would be, they weren't allowed in the sacred sites in Peru for a very long time. They were
Mm.
persecuted years ago. When I
Mhm.
went there one year, somehow this magic happened and the leaders of the shamans, like, for the first time, we got to do ceremony in the sacred site. And it was like mind blowing that, they have this ability to just create this unseen energy of beauty. Like they tell us when we get there, go down and touch the earth and feel Mother Earth's belly. And, the first time I went, I did what they said. I reached down and I put my hand on the earth and I was immediate like drawn to tears because it's like it
Mhm.
felt so different. It was like the shaman was saying, Mother Earth, connect and talk to the people that I'm inviting you to connect with. And I could literally feel her energy coming through because the shamans see Mother Earth as their number one. that we have to take care of her so that we can still live here. They cherish the sacredness of the feminine, that energy of the heart and the soul. And yeah, they're just beautiful, beautiful human beings.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, many, many people are curious, but probably a little bit skeptical about energy healing and shamanic work. How do you help someone open these experiences if they've been hesitant, or like what would you say to those people? And you're like the best at it. I mean, it amazes me. I've watched you in circles before where there's been some pretty tough cookies. So, what would you say to somebody that maybe just doesn't that's skeptical?
They're my favorite. I absolutely love the skeptical because I know at the end of the session, they're gonna be mind blown. I know that their journey through the medicine wheel is gonna change them as the person that they are, and their whole life is going to, like, reflect all that beauty back to them. What do I say to them is your question?
Well, or just maybe anybody out there that is, maybe skeptical about energy work or the shamanic path, or like, I don't know. I guess, what would you say to somebody out there that's skeptical?
I would say that I don't expect anybody to believe anything unless they experience it themselves. That
Hmm.
is 100% for sure.
Hmm.
As a shaman, there's only two rules. And the rules are if spirit calls, the shaman answers. And so then the other
Hmm.
rule is if shaman calls, the spirit answers. Spirit answers. Spirit is always calling. It's about understanding that call. And
Hmm.
if I take somebody on it, if I explain what it I can't tell somebody what it feels like to lay down and have a session.
Right.
But after you actually agree to say, "Yes," I mean, that's what happened when I was at the Golden Door with one gal. We were standing at the bathroom, and she's like, "Yeah, I heard there was a shaman here now," and I poo-pooed that. And she goes, "And then I heard you talk on Sunday night, and I booked a private." And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, here we go." So, laying her down on the table and literally pulling the emotions out of her body and her energy field, and her literally feeling it and knowing what emotions are coming out, taking her back to heal this lifetime and then taking her into different dimensions so that she holds a different energy at the end. They feel different. And so at the end, when she opens her eyes, I was like, how do you feel?" And she goes, "Wow, that was amazing. What just happened?" And in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, poo poo that, right? She had so many sessions after that virtually because she was farther away, and she ended up stepping on the medicine wheel. And in the
Wow.
first direction, she kept saying, "I don't want to be a shaman. I don't want to be a shaman." And it's like, this isn't about being a shaman. It's about you healing you, right? So
Mhm.
she ended up going through, she just graduated the medicine wheel. And then I offer master classes. And she comes up to me and she says, "Dani, I'm 72 years old and I don't have a lot of time. So I need you to get those master retreats on the calendar because I need to get through all of them."
She was your best case scenario there. That's amazing. Oh, man. Well, is there any, like, for somebody that's new to energy work or the shamanic practices, is there a simple practice that they can start today to bring more balance or clarity in their life? If there's somebody's like, "Okay, I'm going to contact Danny right now, but I wanna start something right now." What would you recommend to that person?
I would okay, so my biggest thing is to recognize that your energy is always creating your reality.
Mhm.
And there is so much judgment in the world today, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of finger pointing. As
Mhm.
shaman, all fingers point back to me.
Mhm.
So if I blame, I'm just saying that that mirror of me I see. And
Mhm.
it's about recognizing that you are the divine creator in every moment, and you create your reality in every moment. And you came here as a soul to evolve, and that this whole lifetime is about understanding that you're everything. You are made up of the same thing of Mother Earth. That means you are the energy of the earth. You are mostly water, like Mother Earth. So you are the energy of the water. Do you know those parts of you? You are the energy of the sun with the warmth of your heart. You are the wind with your breath. If you're earth, then you're the flowers and the trees. you're the animals because you're light. And so as shaman, it's about just starting to recognize that, when I see something out there that I love, it's a mirror of me. If I see something out there that I don't love, it is a mirror of me. And if I don't love it, what work do I do inside of me so that I can heal that part?
Mm.
Is that close?
Again, 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 Danny, I'm like, "Oh, man, I gotta get back on the medicine wheel." This is so inspiring. Thank you so much. Well, I wanna move to something a little bit fun and kind of exciting, and I asked you if you would tell this story, and you said you would, so I wanna get to the part. I'm so excited for those listeners out there that are Bachelor fans and watch maybe The Golden Bachelor this upcoming episode. Dani is gonna be on it as being the master shaman, for that. So could you talk a little bit about, like, how that all happened for you? Like, was that even on your radar? I mean, I know yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you talk about it.
So actually, I have 3 medicine wheels running right now, and 2 different wheels were saying, "Danny, you need to be on TV." And, when you get all this energy together and everybody's clearing and, it needs to be like some reality or maybe like a dating, and it's like,
Here it is.
I know. So I'm in the middle of sessions and I get this text message and it says, "I am a producer on a reality TV show and we're looking for a shaman. Would you be interested?" In the middle of my session, I'm like, so I write back, "Sure." And so they write back and said, "Okay, can I get your email so that we can schedule a Zoom call so we could talk about it?" And I said, "Of course." And by the way, what show is this? Because, with all the reality shows out there, you never
You
know,
never
what
know.
show it could have been. And I am obsessed with, the Bachelor franchise, and it was The Golden Bachelor. And that is one of my favorite shows because as a shaman, we're always tracking into the energy and the wounds and, everybody wanting to find love and the transformation and all that. And so when I had the video call with them, they says, "Well, what can you offer and what can you do?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to just do sage because, you have to clear, but you also have to heal and you have to bring in new energy." And so I said, "Well, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this." They said, "Well, we're looking for like 7 different healers, one that can host, one that can, you know, do other things." And then they said, "We're scouting other healers, so we'll let you know if we choose you to do one
One of
thing,
the things.
one of the
One of the
things."
little song and dances, huh?
So I immediately called my shaman afterwards and I said, "I need a session because, I'm manifesting this beautiful dream, but I want to know what blocks do I need to clear in order for it to come to me beyond what I could have imagined." A week later, they call me and they said they scouted a bunch of different healers and they decided that they wanted me to do the whole show. So, yeah,
That's
October
inc
22nd is my episode, which is the 5th episode on The Golden Bachelor. So I feel very blessed to be able to bring this work into mainstream, maybe to bring the healing in a different way that hasn't been shown before so that the world can see, the possibilities that are available. When does this episode come out?
It'll be out before the
Okay.
episode airs, yeah, yeah, or right around the same time, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because, there is a lot of cool things that happen, but, I can't
yeah,
say
you
it
can't say you yeah, I can't oh, yeah, yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to have a follow-up if that's a possibility. That could be like a fun we'll have to do like a little, yeah, recap somehow.
I know Morgan would love that.
I know she would, yeah. Maybe we could have Morgan on it too.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan could co-host with me, so that would be something to look forward to for
She'll
sure.
have some
Yeah.
fun questions.
Yes. Well, that's very, very exciting. That's super exciting, Danny. I'm really, really happy for you, and I'm happy for the franchise at the idea that, that it could be doing something even more meaningful than they're already doing because it's a pretty powerful organization and that's super, super cool. Well, where can people find you? And like what is there anything else that you think people need to hear today or I know we could go on and on and on and on.
I know, right? My company's name is Your Sacred Destiny. So that's my website, yoursacreddestiny.com. There's workshops, there's classes, the medicine wheel is called the mentorship program on there. There's yeah, you can read all about what this work is about. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and
Yeah.
all those. So you can
And I
find
think
me
I gave a
there too.
testimonial on your
Yes.
Instagram that was
Yeah,
super, super fun. So I
me
got to get
too.
interviewed by one of your staff, and I think that's posted on Instagram. So that's a fun one to look at too.
And I have a YouTube channel, so that interview
Uh,
of you is also on my YouTube channel,
oh,
which
okay.
was
And is it
beautiful.
by the same name, Your Sacred Destiny? Is it
Everything is under Shaman Danny,
Shaman
ex
Danny?
except for my website is Your Sacred Destiny.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that you can think of that we can another little tip or trick or tidbit or anything else you want people to either know about you or know about this work? I mean, I know how meaningful and impactful it has been for me personally and professionally and for my relationship with Greg and quite frankly the relationship all my relationships in my life with my family and everything else. I just can't say enough about it, and I can't say enough about Danny and how incredible you are. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanna any other nuggets?
I just want to say that, I truly love you and Greg and
Oh,
Morgan and Max. And it's been a blessing for me to have you guys in my life. And when I did the last blessing bundle for your group,
yes.
and it was so touching and it was so meaningful because most of those women didn't know, anything about what I was doing. And we
Mhm.
were creating this blessing for their dreams and telling them that, how to make the call to spirit so spirit knows how to answer their call. And one lady at the end said, I feel like uh, a spirit. Spirit is moving through me, or God is moving through me,
Right.
or something like that. And she went outside, and a dove came, and
Right.
right, and I said, "Well, look it up. What is the meaning of dove? Because spirit's calling." And she looked it up, and it said dove meant that spirit is coming through me, and they were just in tears and
Yeah.
in awe of the experience. And
Mhm.
it was just a blessing to be there with you and the kind of people that you attract, and to have Morgan there and sit through the whole ceremony and
Mhm.
just all her loveliness. And I'm
Mhm.
just grateful for,
Yeah.
every experience that I've had with you. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, thank you, Danny. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for being here, and we will definitely have to do part 2 maybe after the of Golden Bachelor relaunch because I have a feeling they're gonna keep you busy, girl.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here, Danny. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing your wisdom and your stories, and of course, your beautiful, beautiful light with us today. Your journey reminds us that healing is not only possible, it's a sacred invitation to live more fully, more authentically, and with deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. To my listeners, if you feel inspired by Danny's teachings, please, 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 I encourage you to explore her offerings, her journeys, or even a simple daily practice to begin your own path towards balance and transformation. Remember, the energy you nurture within yourself becomes the energy you bring out into the world. And so until next time, my dear, dear friends, always trust your inner sense and keep walking towards the life your soul came here to live. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode, dear friends. I would be thrilled to hear which part resonated with you the most. Your reflections on today's topic and how it sparked action in your life mean a lot to me. Feel free to share your thoughts at podcasts@innersensebeauty.com or leave a review. I look forward to you coming back next week to explore another exciting topic together. If you'd like to dive deeper, be sure to check out the show notes for some valuable links. Until we meet again, take good care of yourself, know that you are surrounded by love, and always trust your inner sense. Wishing you all the best, friends.